Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing well. For those who don't know me, my name is Chris, and today we're playing some Pioneer. We're playing this cool, like, Jeskai cycling control deck. It looks really fun. It's a donation deck, so I've now set it up so you can donate to see me play a deck of your choice if you wish. The cost is £8 or $10 or €9, depending on your currency, which equates to what it costs me to play a league, basically, and I'll play the league with your chosen deck. So if you're interested in that, just comment or tweet at me. Yeah, so back to today's submission. So this is from a friend of mine named Riley, and it's basically it's almost block constructed featuring all new cards. It's got Flourishing Fox, Neutralize, Zenith Flare, Shark Typhoon, Yadaro, and the Roaring Triomes, all from the new set. So that's cool, because we want to try the new cards. As well as a companion, which in this case is Zerda, because cycling is an activated ability, so everything in our deck meets the criteria. It's not really a Zerda deck as such. It's not like we're really exploiting Zerda, although certain things like cycling costing 1 instead of 2 is obviously great. But for the most part, it's there as a fairly strong 8th card that you can have totally for free, so why wouldn't you? Yeah, aside from that, everything I guess is kind of as you would expect. There's a deck that Pascal Viren or Peter Viren, one of the Virens, has been doing well with online, which is very similar. Riley and I just really wanted to make 0 mana 8/8s. So if you're wondering why our version has the Yadaro in and the Pro Tour Top 8 competitors version doesn't, it may be that that's a mistake. But how can a 0 mana 8/8 be bad? That's my logic. Whatever. It's time to play some Pioneer. I haven't played much Pioneer lately. I imagine I am going to see some decks I'm unfamiliar with, which is going to make a change, because I usually keep up to date with most metas. I'm not going to lie, Companion hasn't done a ton for my motivation to play Magic. I'm not a huge fan of the mechanic now I've gotten used to it. I think it might be completely unreasonable, but these things change. It's also noteworthy that last time I played any Pioneer, the Pioneer Leagues were very quiet, like a small amount of active players, and that's kind of reflected on Goldfish and stuff. There's less and less, 5-0 deck lists and stuff coming through, so I'm wondering how healthy the format is in terms of player base and stuff. I'm hoping it's not dying, because I quite like it. I like it as a introduction for new standard players to get into non-rotating formats. I like it as a kind of diet version of Modern, because Modern's gone crazy with the power level in the last 2 years. Yeah, I just generally approve of Pioneer's existence, and I'd be sad if it went away. Luckily we have an opponent, or should I say a victim. Right, how is our opener? I imagine we're going to have a wide range of keepable openers. They are a Lurus deck, and I would describe this opener as being fine. It's not exciting because we can't play the Fox on turn 1, but we can play it plus a cycle on turn 2, which is fine. And I need to remember not to forget that this guy exists, because it's not in my hand. Opponent appears to be thinking long and hard about a mull. They've mulled once. But yeah, there's been... I've got a really sweet standard deck, which I'm going to attempt to record with in the next few days. And we've got another deck submission lined up for later in the week as well. So there's going to be a few videos coming up in the next few days. Hopefully something for everybody, because we're going to have standard and modern, having just played Pioneer. And we've got control here. My standard deck is basically sort of aggro or tempo. And the modern deck is definitely a combo deck. So we've got got kind of all bases covered as well. I'm a bit concerned that this will just die, but it is what it is. If it doesn't, then a 2-2 is obviously very good against their 1-2. If they attack with open mana, we're clearly not blocking. Battlefield 4. Pardon me. So this is the actual burn deck as opposed to like the mono red creature-based aggro deck. I think they'll probably have an answer to the Fox now before damage to get the prowess, but we have to see. That's pretty cool. Maybe this is a feather deck without feather, because Lurrus. That's certainly conceivable. Do we get anything other than a counter? We do not, so no reason to cycle now. That's a good one. Going to be good against this aggro deck. Don't think there's any reason to do anything as long as we're hitting our land drops. Okay. Good for battle, sure. Good in a heroic deck. Yep, that all happens. So we are going to need to resolve this Zenith Flare fairly quickly. Probably trying to kill the favoured Hoplite. Although we may... I don't know, the Lurrus's existence is a big disincentive, isn't it? Because you kind of want to just kill the Lurrus before you do anything else. That's a good draw, because obviously we want to hit 4 of those. And that's a good draw, because they're an aggro deck. Although we do badly need land. But I'm not going to complain about drawing Zenith Flares in this matchup. No reason to do anything other than play this. We are going to be taking a lot of damage. But then we can gain in the region of 1,000,000 life. And even though they can be recast, they don't all come back with all the counters on, at least, so it's some comfort. Yeah. We don't have any good blocks with the Obstructionist. But I'm wondering if it's worth playing it as gain 5 life. I think not. I think we're better off double cycling. Although, annoyingly, the Yadaro doesn't add to the size of the Zenith Flare. Well, there's a slight chance we might get to make a Yadaro next turn, which would be fun. Okay. This is scary, because obviously that's got 4 toughness. They've got 2 cards in hand. They could easily trigger prowess and punk me out. And if they do, that's 8, and I'm going to be on 9. So we're getting into dicey territory. Very dicey territory. I don't think I have another play. And I guess I want to do it now rather than on their turn. Because if they do have a way to give it prowess, then it is definitely lethal. Yeah. Okay, well if that prevents the damage, then we do just die. Well, bit of a rough game one. No big deal. Oh! Just realised I may have been correct to just play this as a blocker, but it's fine. So we want sweepers. We want Blessed Alliance. And do we want Magma Spray? We probably even just want Magma Spray as well. So we're going as controlling as possible. And I suspect this isn't a good matchup for the Foxes. Because they will be outsized and killed most of the time. And then I guess let's maybe cut a couple of the more expensive things. And we'll see how this goes. I'm not confident in most of what you're witnessing, but okay. This seems fine. I probably shouldn't shock for the Hallowed Fountain on turn 1. Looks like opponent's taking a mulligan again. 5. Ooh. That's a nice small amount. Although obviously it's 6 really. So hopefully they play a 1-drop that they can't protect, and then we can spray it, plus have cycling of cast out available. Yeah, that's good. That's a 1-drop. And it gets exiled, which is relevant when they're playing Lurrus. Given that they mull to 5, there's a chance they're lacking in either creatures or lands or something, so they might not immediately go land follow-up. But they might. Well, Blessed Alliance is a really good answer to that, so it's nice. Farmland is great. Let's keep everything going. So we've got our lands lined up. We've got a good removal spell. Some interesting threats. I'm hoping... Okay, the Arcanist needs to go. That's far too good. Yeah, we take 1. Pardon me. Just... Get rid of Facebook so you don't hear things going bing bong again. Right, back to concentrating on magic. Sorry about that. It's a good one. Are we at Arcanist killing size? We are not. It's a good one. Blast Alliance should be really good. Be interesting to see if they're willing to play the Lurrus out, knowing it may just die. Looks like they are. So we would really like to draw a 1-mana Cycler. It's a good one. Thank you, deck. Now it should be hard for them to come back, I would think. Their hand is probably just pump. I think I'm going to play the Obstructionist just as a 3/1, and I should probably be playing the Companion as well. So I guess I'll do that this turn. Zenith Flare is very comforting. I'm going to play this. We've got only 2 Cyclers in the graveyard, which is a little disappointing, but I think we'll be fine. We seem to be pretty in control. How much are they willing to load up? Please work. Hopefully they only have sorceries in their hand. Ah! Well, things are happening, so what order? What are they targeting? They're killing everything. So then their thing has 2 toughness on it, so it will all die. They'll lose the Hoplite as well, but it's a bit annoying. Oh. Misunderstood what was going to happen there. I thought this would have had... Prevent all damage that will be dealt to favoured Hoplite from what, sorry? Sorry, I've really confused myself. I don't understand. Something happened there that I didn't comprehend. So apologies for that. That doesn't help. We'll cycle that later. The good news is our life total isn't too bad, but I'm totally baffled by why their favoured Hoplite is still alive. The good news is they appear to be flooding. Should have cycled there, that was bad. Is this the 3rd one? Or the 2nd? I can't remember. We got a few in game 1 as well, so I'm struggling to keep track. That's a good one. Yeah, we'll do this now. If anyone who's watching knows what happened a minute ago with the 2 Reckless Rages and the Hoplite and the Zenith Flare stack, please inform me. Let's just cast this. Opponent continues to flood. We continue to not be unhappy about that. Okay. I'll keep the neutralise in my hand, I think. But I will cycle this. I guess I'll cycle this. Okay. Well, we can... I think I'm more inclined to play the Shark Typhoon for a much larger amount next turn than for like 3 now. So we can make an 8-8, which should be good enough, I would think. Yeah, don't think that's going to matter too much. I wonder if they've got a good answer to that. They certainly could do. Blessed Alliance is really comforting. This deck feels quite powerful. You get like really good card velocity. Look at this. I've got 28 cards left in my deck. And the only draw spell I've cast was 1 Hieroglyphic Illumination. It's not like I've been doing anything too crazy. Sure. Don't think that's going to help. Geared for battle is fine. I think it's all a bit too little too late, but we'll see. The shark having flying is hugely relevant. Because they're capable of making some enormous blockers. Hang on. 3 modes. Right, I keep doing this wrong. 3 modes. Target myself. Untap this. They sack. Oh. They sack. There we go. Sorry for failing at casting spells. This, I believe, is what you call a blowout. I'm not sure if I want to block. Is Reckless Rage an instant? Yeah, I'm not going to block. I don't think there's any reason to lose my shark. It's a lovely shark. Should have scryed on my upkeep. I hope this is the fourth one. Like 2 times it says it on the card. Stupid Chris. You're very stupid. I think I should just attack. I was optimistically like, what if I hit the Yadaro for lethal? But that's just not smart. Oh, there we go. Poland gave up. Well, yeah, this configuration feels fine. Don't think there's a reason to change it. I think I like having removal to fight the Lurrus rather than Graveyard Hate that doesn't turn off any of their other cards. Well, it's a removal spell, but we're on the draw and we can't cast it on turn 1. I think I'm going to look for a sweeper. It's not a sweeper, but is it a better hand? Maybe. That's reassuring. Okay. Handle that. Yep. I think those are amongst the least scary threats in that deck, because the really powerful minus counters ability won't really affect me at all. And I'm not kidding, I do think that ability's fantastic in lots of circumstances, but it's not good against me here. And it doesn't have haste, and it's not a Dreadhorde Arcanist, so most of their threats either have haste or, like, the hoplite just grows to an unreasonable size very fast. Oh, can you imagine an engineered explosives or a blast zone here? I'd be mortified. Triple cast out, perfect. Perfect. So I have to, for sure, I think having certain ability to play cast out next turn is probably better than leaving it neutralised this turn. Excuse me, sorry for yawning. So Gird for Battle still triggers Heroic and Prowess, which is horrible. I actually think I have to spend my turn cycling cast outs, looking for a sweeper desperately. If they've got another one, we'd just lose, right? Or all but lose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 10 is 15. I'm on 17, so we wouldn't quite lose. But another one would be big problem. Would be big problem. Good English, Chris. Okay, so we're at 2. And we're looking for a sweeper A Zenith Flare, I guess. Because that's 15, right? If I can count. 16, I can't count. Is there any point? Yeah, we could hit. We don't have the mana for it. I was going to say we could hit exactly Sweltering Suns, but that's a 6 toughness anyway, so. Yeah, GG's opponent. That was a hell of a hand. Well, I don't have any. I don't think that exact scenario is a bad. It doesn't mean the deck is weak or whatever. I think the deck feels strong when you play it, or at least that's my first impression. It feels strong. They're a Lurus deck because it's constructed, and everyone is. Sure, I'll risk it. We'll find blue mana. Ooh, wonder what they're doing. Go away. Is my fox dead? That's the question. I'm already in for whatever opponent's doing. It's very cool. And by cool, I mean it's Grixis and Graveyardy. Oh yeah. Yeah, this is fun. Wait till you guys see my super cool standard deck, is all I have to say in response to all this. So it's bad because we don't get to cycle anything this turn, but it lets us start holding up actual interaction from next turn. I can't really F6 ever because all our stuff cycles and we might want them to think that we've got stuff going on. Let's see what they're up to now. Sure. Got me. It's going to be difficult to answer. No, it's not. I think opponent has pretty clearly pegged us as being on Censor. They've been playing around it. And we are playing like a trendy new archetype that people are talking about, so people have probably seen lists and stuff. This is quite cool. I can respond to the trigger by exiling it, I assume. Sorry if that made a gross noise. Yeah, that has to resolve, unfortunately. That's very bad in the face of Thing in the Ice, but it might allow me to pressure Jace. I think I'd rather that than just tapping out. It's annoying that Jace can flip immediately, though. Wow, that's a fun synergy. Need to be super careful with my Shark Typhoon now. That's really funny. Good work, opponent. Pretty cool little trick. Yep, Discovery Dispersal. They should probably use a passage first. One of the stipulations of me playing this deck was Riley said if I got an opportunity to stifle a Fabled Passage, I had to do it. Unfortunately, with the Nimble Obstructionist, just to be clear. Unfortunately, that's not an option available right now, but still, it would be pretty sweet, wouldn't it? So we take 7, which is it's not insignificant. But we've got time probably. This may be cast Lurus. Cast Thoughtseize. I'll make a 3/3. This is my hand. You can take whatever you like because all the cards are very similar. At the moment, the only thing I really don't want to happen is for them to have a good, clean answer to the Shark that stops me from attacking the Jace down. The plus of Jace doesn't matter, but the minus will be a problem over a period of time. Okay. Well, they did have it, but that's fine too. Well, I think I'm cycling at least one of these illuminations. I think I'm going to pass. And right now, my fairly ridiculous plan might be casting Shark Typhoon. I'm not sure. One thing that's important to note is that we cannot take 2 more Awoken Horror hits. But we're getting to the size of Graveyard where we can... That's fine, because we'll make it huge. We're getting to the size of Graveyard where we can Zenith Flare down the Horror in 1 hit, which is quite cool. I don't like the amount of cards they have in hand. It's definitely too many. Good. Okay. Comforting. Okay, well, that's sad, but at least we know what's happening now. Guess I should cast the Zenith Flare now. I was thinking about waiting, but... don't have Spell Pierce would be my only sort of request for the opponent there. Happy to take 7. That's not a problem. We can make a huge Shark Typhoon next turn if we get to untap with the Zerda. So one of the reasons I killed the Jace was that I didn't want them to be able to minus it and get this Heartless Act back, so obviously that's good that this has happened. And now we lose our Shark Typhoon and everything begins to unravel. Or they could take the Companion, I guess. Good news is there's 2 Supreme Verdicts in our deck, and if we draw them, we are in fairly good shape. Although the Lurrus would be still problematic. The bad news is we've only got 3 draw steps to find one. Can't use the castle on upkeep, we don't have enough lands. So we are in some amount of bother. Or we could draw Zenith Flare and kill them, right? That'd be good too. Yeah, alright. You died. Sorry, bro. Good! Well done! Okay, so... I wonder if that was an out last turn that I missed. I wasn't really thinking about lethal until I cast that other Thoughtseize, and I was like, yeah, your life total's kind of low, dude. And then, obviously, her life total was kind of low. So I think it croaks a deck with Lurrus. I want the Lanterns. And I think I want Veto, probably Dispute, and I think probably Blessed Alliance, and I think I don't want the Foxes again. I'm wondering if the Foxes belong in the deck, but I mean we've played 2 games, haven't we? Let's not make any snap judgments. They're a Fabled Passage deck, so cutting the Nimble Obstructionist is illegal. Zora's Charm seems great against Thing in the Ice. I'm just going to trim stuff. I don't really want to cut any whole chunks. Well, turns out 4-mana deal 14, gain 14 is a bit of a dick move. Yeah, all the hype surrounding Zenith Flare may be justified. There is a lot of hype. I think this is too bad. It seems a lot better. I'd rather draw Typhoon in a little while, I think. Unfortunately, opponent kept 7 and is on the play, so we're already behind. But wow, Mystical Dispute maybe. Go away. Opt, okay. Their deck better have Dreadhorde Arcanists in it, or I'm going to be livid. And or Sprite Dragons. Those are all way cooler than Thing in the Ice. Alright, we don't have a good answer to that, unless they attack with it. Which, that would be a baller move. Deciding whether to play the farmlands or hold them to cycle is interesting. So, as you can see from what I've done, I decided I'd rather cycle it, but I'm not sure that's correct. Did it work? Or do they have a dispute of their own? They did not. Okay. From the way they played, I thought they might, because the shock on turn 1, but I guess that the opt really was all they had. Unclear how wise this is, but we don't really have... Well, we could hold up Neutralise, but I'd rather be able to cycle Neutralise for 1 next turn and, you know, start churning. Hopefully we can do a lot of churning. Flipping Jace to recast an opt isn't that troubling. Jace in your Lurrus deck is great, has to be said. That is a really nice combination of cards. Sadly, I'm holding off on buying paper Lurruses because I'm fairly sure, before we all get out and get to play Paper Magic in stores again, I'm fairly sure it will all be banned. That's fine, can shrink it. Okay, discard my planes, I guess. It's annoying that we take 3, but that's whatever. Ha. That'll teach them. 1 damage to Jace. The reason to shock was I thought there was a universe where I'd cast Neutralise and still cycle Censor. Well, I will neutralise the Lurrus in a heartbeat. That is not up for debate. Okay. They have their own one. I think that's fine. Kind of feels like bait. Mm-hmm. shock. I wonder what the shock is for. They must have like a drown in the lock or something. Good. Always good to draw the most busted card in your deck. I was thinking about cycling Illumination, sorry, casting Illumination, looking for a land, but I think I'm just going to cycle it and then hold the rest of my mana up. Okay, that's fine. Interestingly, when you choose the draw a card mode of Azorius Charm, it doesn't count. So they chose to draw a card, which is good for us because it makes our Zenith Flare bigger, although Soul Guide Lantern is a combo with Lurrus, so they can just keep getting it back. Four mana, Croaxer. I will be countering that, assuming they don't have a response. They have a response. Okay. It's just an 80. It's fine. We've got actually two quite good answers to it in hand. I think I'm going to just ditch my Mystical Dispute. Yeah, I think we just have to pass. Not sure it was correct to play that Clifftop Retreat. I might have been better served discarding it to the Croaxer, but as things stand, I think I'll discard whichever removal spell I decide not to use. Yeah, this game feels bad. Real bad. I kind of have to do this now. Please resolve. Wow. Alright. Got battered. Maybe that was a reason not to discard Mystical Dispute. That was not a close game. Did I regret any of my sideboarding decisions? I don't think so. I'm not sure. I kind of feel like you need all the one-mana cyclers like Illumination and Cast Out for momentum, so maybe I shouldn't be cutting those ever. Maybe that's just like, you know how you never cut Brainstorm or Ponder or whatever in your legacy decks because they just let you find the cards you really want. Maybe maybe there's some wisdom in leaving those in the deck. Alright. I was about to mull until I realised the Triome was a land. It really, really doesn't look like one. Okay, they're on 7 as well. It really annoys me every time that keeps happening. Literally, your first upkeep, it just pops out as if to say, you can use me now, even though it's 3 mana. What a knob. Stupid fox. Is it a fox? It's a fox. Played around my Stifle, which I can't cast at the moment. I'm going to hold the lantern, try and hit something juicier, I think, and just cycle and illuminations this turn. We need to try to make sure we hit third land next turn. And if it were blue, that would be really good. Let's not draw a clifftop retreat, please, deck. Okay. It's nice that opponent isn't impacting the board. And they seem to have an awkward mana draw. I guess I'd play this out. Seems likely to die to something like a Heartless Act, but it also stops them from spending their turn developing, and that's fine too. Sure. I'm going to take the Discovery Dispersal out, I think, and attack. One quite cool thing is that if the Zerda deals between, say, 3 and 12 damage, we're really only ever one Zenith Flare away from winning. Not 3, say 6 and 12. Alright, that's fine. Plus the opponent's just shocked, which is helpful. They're obviously planning on flipping their Jace. Not a lot we can do about that, although maybe in response to the flip I could use my Soul Guide Lantern. That might be a dirty trick. Sure. I think I could have waited and responded to the... there's a second flip trigger, right? I think I might have just done that wrong. It's a good draw. Any cycler there would have been perfect, but one that eventually makes an 8/8 is more exciting, even though we will probably only do that once this whole league. Land's ideal. Can Shark Typhoon for a 5/5 with flying. It's quite exciting. Probably have to deal with this Croaxa first, don't I? Although they've not got any cards to escape it with. They've just shot down to 10. Wow. Yep, you can have that. Okay. I think that's fine. X is 5, yeah. Done. So that's a 2-turn clock in the air, potentially, if they don't immediately answer it. Looks like it resolves. Hopefully they don't have a fatal push. They have a fatal push. What are they killing? I assume the flyer. Yeah, that's fine. So be it. Oh. I am wondering whether I should cast the Supreme Verdict or not, and if I should, when I should, because it kind of feels like now, although it's worth remembering that this little twat exists. My alternative is play Cast Out, remove that, hit. They're at 7. I don't really want to be the beatdown. Doesn't feel like that's where I'm supposed to be. I think I'm going to start with cycling this. Hopefully hit land. Oh, it doesn't cost white mana. Oops. It won't. Okay, so now I have to cycle 1. Or cast it. Again, I'm not sure this is the right play, and I kind of accidentally priced myself into this with forgetting that this reduced the cost of the cycle to 1. I tapped 2, but because I'd made a game action, it didn't let me untap like it sometimes does. So there we are. So I'm kind of hoping they're going to overcommit, like play Lurrus into Croaks or something like that, or Lurrus into 2-drop. And then we can Wrath, but they may not. Down to 5. That's brave. They still won't have enough in the graveyard to escape Croakser. Don't know what they're shocking for, but maybe it's just to prove to me that they're not scared. Was that a fatal push they targeted? Yeah. Okay. I think that's fine. It means I can Supreme Verdict with impunity. Cast your Lurrus. Yes. Well, this is going to work out well. Other than the fact that I'll have a Jace. But we'll get rid of 2 huge threats. So they have the... They can make a Croakser. And we've only got 1 cast out, so we can only answer either Croakser or Jace. We can't answer both. But Yadaro's looking awfully lethal. We just need to cycle it 2 more times. Or cast it, to be fair. We're only 2 lands off of casting it, which would be a hilarious way to end the game. So I think I'd rather cast out the Jace because I have the Blessed Alliance for the Croakser, but I'm unclear. This one? Probably? Wow, down to 3. Yep. And they must be playing the Soul Guide Lantern from their graveyard, because that insulates them a bit against Zenith Flare. right now, my plan is to try and kill them with Yadaro next turn. So we'll have to see. Which means I'm drawing 2 with the Illumination, at the very least. Although this opportunity, I think, may be too juicy. I may have to cycle some cards instead. But I'm desperately hoping to hit a land. Just going to get a counter spell out of them? Alright. That's fine, I guess. Although them being at 6 isn't different to them being at 3. It's if they go up to 9 that it's annoying. They've obviously got some interaction because they could have done all kinds of good stuff out of their graveyard that turn. Fatal Push doesn't kill this. Heartless Act does. Depending on how much stuff I cycle, Drown in the Lock might. I think I'm just going to cycle it. I'm being a coward. They may Soul Guide Lantern now. Don't care if they do, that's fine. So this lets me cast out with counter up, which I guess is something. Or I can Illuminations looking for a win condition. I think I want to pass, because I quite want to counter them escaping a Croaxer if they try. Lurrus isn't doing a ton because they're scared to use a Soul Guide Lantern because of Zenith Flare, I think. The thing in the ice is a bit slow, but I suppose they can still get it back. I don't mind taking 3. Oh, they're up to 9, and now my cool win condition doesn't work. Yep. They've just imprisoned their Croaxer for another turn, which is good fun. Yep. So now they can make Croaxer again, if they so choose. Choose not to. I'm not clear what the better threat is out of the 2, but I'm going to go for Jace. Because I have more creature removal to deal with Lurrus. Potentially. Okay. So I think the plan has to be counter Croaxer, Zenith Flare Lurrus, hope to be stable. My clock is becoming a problem, I've just noticed. Problematic. Very problematic. I would like to draw Supreme Verdict. Does that do it? No, not anymore. Still better than Zenith Flare, though. It's a cantrip that makes an 8/8. But they can't counter, I don't think. So, yeah, we'll take it. Although they've got the Soul Guide Lantern, which is making things difficult. We'll see if they notice. I think they can break this up with the Lantern. We still get to draw a card. So we can eat Lurrus in combat and take exactly 9. Okay, yeah, we lose. I'm not into chumping Croxes. Damn it, Dr. Kitty! We're trying to test this cool deck. You're being lame. I would love to get some actual wins instead of just winning games. I do wonder how much I should have cared about those Soul Guide Lanterns. Should I have brought in Forsake the Worldly and stuff? But like targeted artifact removal feels so bad against artifacts like that. Because yeah, I don't know. Maybe I should have brought in the Magma Sprays that didn't hit anything except for Lurrus. The reason I didn't bring them in was they have... Oh, they would have hit Jace as well. It was probably bad. The reason I didn't bring them in was they don't hit Croxer or Thing in the Ice. But they do hit Jace. They do hit... obviously Lurrus, which is the card that beat us. So yeah, if you're not paying attention, Lurrus won that game on its own, I would say, with a little bit of help from my incompetence. Ooh, nice Brushwag picture opponent. That's my new favourite bad draft common. It's by no means my favourite common in terms of drafting, but it's maybe the one that entertains me the most. This looks like a rock solid hand, doesn't it? Yeah, keep this. Well, oh, might be a mirror. Let's wait and see. Maybe Whole Hiss knows the secrets. Looks like it. Damn it, every time, and it always annoys me. Quite like the idea of playing a mirror of this nonsense. I imagine it's going to be very hard to figure out what to do and when. Well, that's it. The cat's out the bag. The opponent knows what we're doing. These mixed hallowed fountains are going to drive me crazy. So, cheers for that. Frickin' what you call mana traders. Cheers for the headache. Dig Through Time is a good card. You can quote me on that. That's not really controversial. Field of Ruin. So I think this is just straight blue-white control. I don't think this is a cycling theme deck. I'm shocking because I don't think my life total matters, and there's some universe in which I cast 2 sensors. Are they going to blow up my red source? They probably should. Okay, that's fine. That's a card that is in this deck, so it's possible that they are still this deck, I guess. Splashing, not splashing. Having added a Field of Ruin. No, I'm going to wait. I might cycle one of these, though. Two Zenith Flares. I'm kind of hoping we can initiate some kind of big fight towards the end of their turn and try and kill them with Zenith Flare, untap Zenith Flare, something like that. Actually, I should invest fixed. Okay, we got away with it. Right. What are you doing with your life opponent? Have you got any cards to play? Gids. Okay. Okay. I now regret not having Censor up, but the chances of them playing exactly Essence Scatter seems low. I guess Mystical Dispute is a thing, and we couldn't censor a Mystical Dispute anyway, so no hard feelings. Hopefully this resolves. Wicked, that's great. It's got to be good for us. They probably have something like an Azorius Charm or a Blessed Alliance or a Seal Away available, but we can... I can't think of a 1-mana answer, and we can censor any 2-mana answer. Or are we just getting to eat their Planeswalker for 0 value? That's probably preferable. Usually I like it when stuff like that happens. I'm not playing more creatures out because this is probably a 4 Supreme Verdict deck, and 3 is actually kind of decent pressure because we've got like a wall of annoying interaction up. Don't mind them shocking either. This is such a good win condition for Dirtly decks. It's just like, you will eventually draw 4, you would be cantripping anyway, and yeah, it kills real quick. We've pretty much got lethal with the Zenith Flares. It's just about figuring out a time to do stuff. So now I think I want to play the fox because I think I just want to try and bait them into casting a Supreme Verdict so we can go for a big Zenith Flare turn. I do need to be careful about Dig Through Time because I don't want to exile all my super cool cyclers that are making my hand scary. Here comes a Verdict. No surprise there. Don't care if this gets counted or not. Cycle this. Okay. So what do they play? They could play... The only card I can think of that stops me winning here is the literal card Negate. I think I'm just going to go for it. Just do this, hope they cast something on it, and then we can kill them in response. No? Okay, well, let's go for it. Okay, veto. I forgot about veto. Sure. Do I want to deal a ton of damage? Probably not. Do I want to play a fox? Probably not. I think I'm just going to pass. What can I dig through time that's not useful? Literally nothing except for the Zenith Flare. I suppose I could pay 4 mana. Then I have to still exile 3 things. It seems a bit bad. It's another Verdict. It is. I think I'm willing to play the fox now. Seems unlikely that they've got another Wrath. Play the Vantress. Cast this. I would have played that personally. I think stopping at 6 lands is insane in blue-white control, but what do I know? Probably shouldn't be accusing people on the internet of being insane. It's a bit rude. Is this another one? There's Gids. Gids is pretty good. Gids makes that emblem pretty strong as well. I've got 2 sensors left in the deck. I could cycle Hieroglyphic Illumination and hope to get lucky, but that just seems ridiculous. Given that we're low on gas, I think I want to actually cast it. Yep, and then they should make a zombie, make a knight. There's not really any other play for them. Okay, so I don't want to upkeep Vantress. I need to kill the Gideon. Do think I probably want to just cast this Illuminations, and I'm happy with tapping the Vantress. Rather have better mana. Okay. So I'm going to attack Gideon to try and get them to block. Just free removal on the knight, pretty much. I'm definitely cycling the Triome, which we can afford to do because of the Zerda. So I'm still learning all the names of all the new cards. Tefs. Yeah, this is difficult. Okay. I'm going to plus. Yeah. Makes sense. Still going to cycle Sensor, I think. Yeah, it makes sense to me. Ooh. Do I just cast that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think I'm going to cast that. And I think it's going to resolve. They won't be expecting that. It's a ridiculous thing to cast, but we're in a long stalemate-ish game. Yeah. Get rid of that. Don't have Mystical Dispute, that would be brutal. Okay. There's nothing that answers that for 1 mana, so we attack Teferi and we attack player. Putting the player to 1 isn't really a consideration when Teferi is as good as it is. It's an absolutely absurd card. I would be fine with anything except for what's it called? Supreme Verdict, I suppose. I think I like Supreme Verdict, play my 3/3. That'd be a bit annoying. But then we can just Vantress in our upkeep and find a Zenith Flare to win, so it's not all bad. Is Zenith Flare lethal? 11, yeah. It's a cool little feature, saves you having to count. I think I'm probably cycling the Fox. I don't see the Fox getting there in terms of doing meaningful damage, and finding my good cards might get me there. And we can just cast another Yadaro next turn if they sweep. It's not the end of the world. Okay. This will probably find them what they need, but leave them low on mana, so That's kind of encouraging. So they could play Verdict and have access to Veto. That would be about the worst case scenario. This has been a long game one. Well, no Verdict has to be great for me. Oh, it only costs 2. That's amazing. I missed that. I would like to attack you, please. Let's see what they've got. Let's hope it doesn't get... Oh, if it's just a Torrential Gearhulk or something, we're in great shape. Kind of feels like a Torrential Gearhulk. Shark Typhoon, right. Yeah, that's the thing that exists now. Alright. So what are they doing? They're either... I guess they're just eating my 3-3. Going to 1. Everything else seems wrong. Now I think I have to play the Fox. Do I have to play the Fox? No, I'm just going to cycle it, see if I can find a Zenith Flare. Alright. Half tempted to cast that, but I probably would have if we could have held it neutralised as well. An Arden Veil. Well, my thing has Trample. Get rid of that, please. Hopefully they attack because they're like, well, I've got to get a move on. I'm on 1. And then we kill him with a Shark Typhoon. Which they literally, I don't think a single card in the format can answer this. Oh, Unsummon. I'll tell you what, if they have an Unsummon, I will be fucking furious. Did we win? Come on, opponent. Just die! There we go. Right, so... I'd like this Dovin's Veto. I would like these Mystical Disputes. And... I guess I don't want these Verdicts. They seem pretty bad. I need to give the Fox a chance. I need to stop shitting on the Fox. Interesting choice of language, Chris. No, I don't. It's still the worst card. Out of all of the Tarmogoyfs that exist, I'm a big fan of basically every Tarmogoyf. I think Flourishing Fox is the worst Tarmogoyf. And Tarmogoyfs is like a general term I use for literally any cheap creature that becomes large. Just lazy nomenclature. This hand isn't very good. I'd like to have a different one, please. This hand is better. Oh, it's not Arena, you don't have to slide it over. I've been playing more Arena than an MTGO lately. Just because of playing loads of Ikoria Limited and having, even though I don't really play Standard, this Standard deck I've made is bringing me a lot of joy because it doesn't feel like playing a Standard, it feels like playing Legacy. And that's very cool. Go away every time, it makes me cranky. Yeah, they don't really have any proactive 2-drops today. All their 2s are reactive spells, which is nice. Come on, Tarmogoyf. You can do it. You'll be a 4-4 before you know it, mate. And then you'll be back on top of my library with no counters on you, but that's fine. It wasn't your fault. It was that nasty Azorius charm. Yeah. Didn't want to see a Gideon there, and we didn't see one, so that's good. Still one. I was thinking about cycling the cast out, but it's just one of those. Feels like representing something like a Dovin's Veto is way more valuable than 1 extra damage at the moment. Especially considering that this deck is capable of dealing huge chunks when it does want to, between the 8/8s and the Zenith Flares. What don't we want to see? Bloody Gideon Ally would be a problem. Gideon Ally that's a stonker. I'm going to cycle because we badly need to hit a land drop. They're quite an expensive hand. And quite an expensive deck in general. Mana-wise. Money-wise, it's very cheap. It's very budget-friendly if you're looking to get into Pioneer without spending a fortune. This is the one. The way they keep stopping, I would say it's a Vendilion Clique, but that's not in this format. Just gonna hit for 2. Hold up all my stuff. Don't really want to get like Gideon or Teferi'd. Maybe they'll play a Gideon playing around Censor. Okay, well this is bad for you. Sorry, opponent. Come on, Tarmogoyf. Do you know what that kind of feels like? It kind of feels like they have a second one. I'm debating between cycling and casting this, and I've concluded that cycling is fine. Because I wanted to hit a land, and casting it would tap me out next turn. Okay. Have to see what they've got planned. It kind of feels like they have a second to fairy from the fact they essentially wasted the first one, but I don't know. They might just be kind of a loose player. We did show them quite a bit of counter magic in game 1. We showed them sensors and neutralizers, so Dreamy T. That's difficult to beat at the moment. We can... I think the way I have to try and beat that is with punking it out with a 6/6 Shark Typhoon. Man, I should have cycled with that on the stack. Oh my god. That's punishing. Can you believe it? I've really screwed that up. I'm going to keep drawing because I really want to hit a land. Neutralize is bad. Well, it's not bad. It's just not what I need. I guess it's a land. Have to play this. They can't block. They're only gaining 5, so they'll be on 13 again next turn. We'll have 8 points in attackers, because it seems really unlikely that they're going to cast Supreme Verdict, but I guess I shouldn't rule it out. Man, this is going to be a long video. We're at 1 hour and 3/4 and we're in match 3. Okay, well, we can afford to take 5 several times, because we can at some point cast a big Zenith Flare and gain 1 million. Please be another Dream Trawler. A Shark Typhoon hardcast. Okay. Well, I think I make myself very heavy favourites from here. I think we just have lethal, don't we? We have a 6/6 Tarmogoyf and 3/3 and 4 points from the Zenith Flare, so guess I can. Cycle a couple more times just to let them know that we're serious, we mean business. That's 11 in attackers. I can win 2 ways. I can cycle 2 more things. It's probably a bit flashier. Let's do that. Ridiculous behaviour. Oh, I meant to cycle. This is quite a fun way to find lethal, just from infinite cantrips. Right. Right, well we won 1. It's a good start. Hopefully we can win a couple more and go home happy. Not that I'm not home, everybody's home. You know what I mean. End the league happy. I actually kind of need the last couple of rounds not to take too long because it's my sister's birthday today, and I have to be present and pleasant and, you know, kind of a good brother. I can't just be up on my own playing Magic the Gathering. Obviously, this is only a little clip from it, but the shark typhoon art is absolutely amazing. The overall piece, the little angry hammerhead I've got doesn't really do the rest of it justice. The whole piece is awesome. There's some really cool, weird creature types and stuff in this current set, and then there's just sharks with wings. I wonder which companion we're playing against now. Everybody has one. What have they got? Yorion. Oh no, this could take ages. This could take ages. Well, a solid hand. Shambles? What does that mean? Colour me intrigued. Go away! Every time. It's so irritating. Lucky I'm so patient with it and I never get annoyed. Yeah, I wonder what the opponent's up to. I am definitely interested. Hopefully we can get a feel for it before next turn so we can decide about Censor. Well, they've done nothing turns 1 and 2, and this is constructed, so that implies they have a turn 3. So I will be holding up Censor. The cool thing about the way Zenith Flare's phrased is if you cast Censor and Hieroglyphic Illuminations, they still go to the graveyard, so Zenith Flare still counts them. You don't have to cycle them, which is nice. Agonizing Remorse. That resolves. They must have seen a blue land and realised to play around Censor. I guess it's... No, it doesn't make sense because they could have just done it last turn. Could have still played around Censor last turn. Cast Out is good because this feels like some kind of black-white smallpox-ish thing. So having a good answer to Planeswalkers is nice. Wondering if I was meant to play out my companion then. I really, it's not like Lurrus. Like, I know what to do with Lurrus. With Lurrus, you wait until you can get another thing off of it. So usually 5 lands, or 3 in Modern with Mishra's Bauble, which is definitely not a mistake. I think there was a huge mistake there. I should have cycled the Triome. On the plus side, a Murderous Rider on its own isn't very impressive. Yeah, they're definitely only 2 colours. Gideon or something? Doom Foretold. So, if they can't, which I can't, I discard, I lose 2, they draw, they gain 2, and they make a knight. And then Doom Foretold goes away. Well, I've got plenty of crap to discard, so go for it. It's a lot of Zenith Flares. Yep. All that happens. You're going to cast something, please. Please play your Yorion or something. Demonic Pact. That's an interesting one. And now it makes sense. Guess it resolves. Crazy, this world we live in. I think I'm going to cycle this. I don't mind if they make me discard 2. That's fine. The 29 life is a bit annoying, but me being at 4 doesn't matter because I have the Zenith Flares. Feels like a good window for them to resolve their Yorion, but I could be wrong. Yep. They're just trying to kill me. Very interesting. Neutralise is good. Just want lands, please. Nope, not land. Well, we just have to pass the turn. We can kill the Shambling Vent if we have to. Seems a bit of a waste of a Zenith Flare. Maybe I should just point it at their face. Yep, you can draw 2. going to be problematic, but this opponent's deck is so crazy, it's kind of hard to know how to attack. They have a full grip, although so do we. Sure. I guess it means they get to use the 4 damage again, but that won't matter because we've got ways to gain lots of life. Probably have to cycle though. The card quantity isn't the problem, we just need land. Finally. I think I'm meant to stifle the trigger and then have access to neutralize. Makes some sense to me. This was wrong. I forgot about Shambling Vent. Shark Typhoon's a bit of a get out of jail free card, but I don't really deserve it. If they animate both, we're screwed. Yeah. What was I thinking? Should definitely have just played Zenith Flare. We would have gained like 7 or 8. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. That was piss poor. I think that's all my relevant sideboard. Let's start like that, see where we end up. Sorry, Riley. That was really bad. Promise I am trying. I feel like when people are donating to see decks on the channel, they really deserve a better standard of player than I can offer. But hopefully you enjoy watching me suffer and struggle. I guess that's kind of funny. Okay. We'll draw that later. It'll be fine. Now I have the decision. How greedy am I? Well, we know the answer to that question. We're playing one. No fear. Next turn, draw land, play the other one, cycle sensor, ultimate aggro plan. Come on, don't have Thoughtseize. Oh god, they know how embarrassing my keep was now. They kind of have to take the other fox unless they have a removal spell, because the infinite Tarmogoyfs are going to add up. Come on. Okay, well, I deserve that. Let's hope we get one next turn, otherwise this is going to end real fast. With them dead, because we have a 2-2. Soon to be a 3-3. What? Man, it's been a while since I played, like, Amonkhet Limited, or whatever set that is. Is that Amonkhet? Hour of Devastation, maybe? Oh, it's been a while. Come on! Sad. Sad. Now my Timer Wife is dead. Maybe I should have gone to 5. I don't know. This feels like the type of deck you really don't want to mulligan against. It's so grindy. I reckon we are pretty much the dream for them. We're just like easy to punish. Kind of... Oh god, is our primary win condition now like Shark Typhoon and Yadaro? I think it kind of is. Wow. This deck contains 4 cast outs and 23 lands, and we've seen 1 land and 4 cast outs. So that's kind of interesting maths. Yeah, I think our primary win condition is kind of absurd now. Birth of Meletis is fine. Anything that doesn't kill us. What I don't want to see is like Gideon Ally of Zendikar or like any 5-drop. I don't think we can beat like a Doom Whisperer from here. Come on. Thank you. I feel safer. Ever so slightly safer. We're still going to die. Hopefully their turn is just like hit you with the vent. Can't be, they've got 5 freaking cards in hand. Although we know 1 is a plains. But they've still got the Yorion as well. Oh my god. Play the Yorion, flicker everything. I guess. That doesn't seem amazing. What are they going to name? Shark Typhoon? Yeah. Probably the best name. Well, we're down to 2 win conditions, which are foxes and very large dinosaur turtles. Probably should have cycled Sensor. Definitely should have cycled Sensor. Screw it. We kind of have to. We kind of have to hit land to be in the game. Nice. Winning. Winning. Wish I was less bad at Magic sometimes. Yeah, that at least doesn't do a ton here. We definitely need to remove that Rest in Peace. Because of... Well, do we? It turns off our Zenith Flares, but... It's my other option. I'd play out the Fox, have Neutralize. Or I could play my Companion. I think I'd rather have Neutralize. I don't really know how I get out of this. Not against the, like... Oh, yeah, that was a mistake. You don't get neutralised, Chris. It goes away. think it's bordering on pointless now. At least I get to put a counter on this before I let it die. Sorry, I don't know how. I really should apologise to Riley for the keep I made, but I don't really know how to get out of this position I'm in. I'm going to let them untap, sack something to Doom Foretold, probably try to cast out the Doom Foretold. It's like the sort of prison decks in older formats where you just kind of slowly get strangled. Tap, pay one, draw. Yeah, we're going to die to that. Oh, Flicker of Fate, yeah. Well, I can sack the cast out, I suppose. Yeah, this feels quite futile, but got the Zenith Flare dead in my hand. I can pitch that. We were only one land away from making an 8/8. We just have to hope they don't have another Edict. But I feel like they would probably have one. The deck probably has quite a lot of that effect. Sure, if they take the Yadaro, I guess I'll probably call it a day. Took the Azorius Charm. Interesting. They obviously have an answer to the Yadaro. Not that any of you asked, but enchantments are by far my least favourite card type to play with or against. So, as you can imagine, an enchantment prison deck is really not my cup of tea. The joke's on them because they're about to take loads of damages, maybe. Except for we sack it in 2 turns. Or rather, on our next turn. Coward. Coward. Oh, they sacked their own Doom Foretold. That's handy. We're going to win now, probably. Okay. It kind of feels like they're trying to kill me because they've dealt 7 to me. They can deal up to 9 and stay well out of burn range because of the life gain. Yeah, it feels like they're trying to kill me, which is valid, is their job. They can Yori on next turn for 3 more points. That puts me to 2, and then attack, and I can only block 1 thing. Yeah, that looks lethal. Probably was meant to Vantress, but I'm not sure because of mana. Well, Zenith Flare gains lots of life, so that's good. Oh. Yeah, so, lesson learned there. Rest in peace is a problem. But I did bring in some Forsake the Worldlies, we just didn't draw them. Maybe that means you need more, I don't know, because they're really low cost, like, they have cycling. Yeah, maybe there's a lesson there that you need a third or even a fourth Forsake the Worldly. Alright, sorry about that, I just went away. Not that that should matter in the video. The video shouldn't show a long gap. Hopefully, we can salvage a respectable 2-3. And, yeah, I don't know what to say. I'm really, I'm disappointed with the keep I made that game, but it felt like their deck is basically built to beat up on kind of slower fair decks. And yeah, what happened the time before? We beat... What did we beat? Blue-white control? Then we lost to the cool Grixis deck, but it was close. And we lost to the nut draw from the red aggro deck. That's alright. I'm not too upset with myself. Hopefully Riley isn't too upset with me either, as their opinion matters more than mine. No, obviously, we've no idea how good or bad this hand is, which happens a lot with these cycling decks. Oops. That one. Come on, Chris. Like, the Supreme Verdict could be dead, but... probably not. Definitely not. And then the Zenith Flare's value varies all over the shop, doesn't it? My feeling is I'm supposed to just not do anything until I've cast a verdict. Cycle as much as possible. See what kind of deck they are. They could be blue-white, blink, or just a white aggro deck, white weenie or white with Heliod. We'll have to see. Yeah, this is like white devotion. So they do play Heliod usually. Sensor might be helpful. And an untapped land. Perfect. So we're doing alright. Atomic is a silly card. It's got all these lands all have text on them now. As if there's a wasteland in this format or whatever. Hopefully they'll cast a Heliod that we can censor, but that might be wishful thinking. I don't think I'm interested in Verdict yet. Now I'm interested in Verdict. Just because then I can play my Fox out and my, what's it called, Companion. And now I can target the lands again, which is important. We should probably be able to kill that with a Zenith Flare fairly soon. Oh no! Not my Triome. I don't know whether that taking 2 extra damage might be bad in this matchup, but we've got 2 Zenith Flares, and I didn't know whether I might need to cycle and neutralise. I think that's fine. I guess they just plus the Gids on my Fox, or maybe attack me. It's not out of the question. It's probably safer from their perspective to plus on the Fox. Wow. Shows what I know. Trying to kill me, the swine. Don't have a 1-drop blocker. That makes sense now. Ah, I cannot cycle because I let the thing get exiled. Idiot. Idiot. Why are you so stupid, Chris? And now we will note that we can't Zenith Flare the Gideon down in 1 hit, which was bad. Well, we might if I get very lucky and I censor it into an untapped land. The reason I'm kind of willing to do this is that we've still got the neutralise. Okay. This should force a chump, because we can just cycle something. Hopefully we can, like, neutralise a fairly strong play, take 4, cast Zenith Flare on the Gideon and be in quite good shape. If we're very lucky, they might play something that we can censor. If they're missing lands, they might just have to start sacrificing clues. Okay, that's fine. We'll kill your Gideon another way, opponent. Come on, give me land. Nice. Anything they're doing that doesn't impact the board makes me happy. Anytime you get to censor something, that usually makes me happy too. Okay, not too bad. Pretty crap draw. Is there any reason to play it? Maybe. I'm not sure, I can't think of any. We can Vantress to try and set something up for next turn. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. This all seems fine. Not too scary at all. Ooh, good ones. How do I want to do this? I think I definitely want to draw Shark Typhoon. Can get an extra point in now, but I think I'd rather have the element of surprise. Yep. I'm wondering if I should have cast the Shark Typhoon and just made 2 4/4s over the next turn. Is that better? Probably isn't better. I think I'm taking 3. I don't see any reason to tell them about the shark before their second main phase. Just going to draw. It's a good one. See if they decide to block. Think I should Zenith Flare on the upkeep, but no, they've got counter spells. What am I talking about? They can't gain life, can they? Cool. Well, we have removal. Not sure how good Magma Spray is. Forsaken World is fucking amazing. Exiles all their annoying things. What does Magma Spray hit? Atomic is a 2/3. Daxos is usually a 2/3 at least. Hits Knight of the White Orchid. Don't think it's good enough. We'll try that. We'll never ever get use out of the Yadaro, but that's fine. At least we have Sweltering Suns and Forsake the Worldly, so that's a decent sideboard plan for this matchup. For what it's worth, I think the white Heliod deck is amongst the best. Although it doesn't get to play companions, and they've proven themselves to be literally the worst companion deck is better than the best non-companion deck. I don't think that's quite true, but they've proven themselves to be kind of unreasonable. Come on, opponent! Well, we have a Sweltering Suns, one red source, and a Verdict. I think it's worth it. We'll have to see. Oh, best turn one in the format. Probably. No, joking aside, it's definitely Thoughtseize, but that's fine. Ooh, no follow-up. No reason to shock. Having lands... Oh shit, they mulliganed loads. Look, I just noticed. I'm paying so much attention. At the moment, if they miss their next land drop, or if they don't play a land before they attack, I think the thing I want to do the most is put the Inspector back on top of their deck so they miss their land again. I'm not sure this is optimal, but it's basically Stone Rain. And for those who are unaware, my favourite thing to do in Magic the Gathering is to Stone Rain people with cards that do not say destroy target land. So, yeah. Knowing that they're going to miss their land drop again makes me happy. We are getting to have all the fun, which is the way you want it, really. Your opponent having fun is like... It's not really part of Magic when yeah, it's not really part of, like, it's not a good part of Magic anyway. You don't really want two people to enjoy it. Come on, go land 2-drop. No! Now I have to do something proactive, which is really annoying. Ooh, a Shark Typhoon. I'm just going to try and hit a land. Okay, fine. I'll go clean up. Ooh. Ooh. This is so childish. I'll just try to stifle. I don't want them to draw a line. Oh, Riley, this counts. This counts as me getting a Fabled Passage. This counts. It's basically Stone Rain. Come on. Land. Oh. So I really wanted to just cast Shark Typhoon. I'm going to play this stupid thing. I don't know. it's a hard life. Fine. I really wanted to get some. Like, if we can't cast Shark Typhoon, we can at least use the ability to a larger degree with that thing in play, but it's fine. I'll stop playing with my food and just try and kill them. Hmm. Made my Zenith Flares smaller, but I think I just wanted to have lands. Eight rats. Okay, fine. Make my 3/3. I don't want to go to discard again. Feels too bad. Might have been funnier to go for the clue. Here we go. Man, come back, forsake the worldly. Why did I waste you? I'm going to lose this game and I'm going to deserve it. Joking aside, it should be very hard to lose. We can neutralise their play, Zenith Flare them, untap, Zenith Flare them again, attack them again. Everything's fine. I just, oh, I need to stop playing. I'm playing so loose because I know it should be impossible to lose, and I have like bucket list stuff like casting Shark Typhoon, and I've got carried away. I'm being a real dick. On the plus side, the white weenie matchup feels good. Gibbs, yeah, we'll just get rid of that. They're going to attack. If they do, they lose. Oh dear. Why didn't I? Oh, Chris. More. I might not be able to win this turn now. Oh, yeah, we can. Good. Well, it's better to be incredibly favoured by variance than be good, as that way I don't get copywritten by Pleasant Kenobi. Hope the opponent enjoyed that game as much as I did. Yeah, so where are we? Collection. This is the deck. So I enjoyed it. I thought it was cool. I think it's strong, and I think this isn't its final form, and I was not playing it optimally. So there's definitely potential here for a much more successful deck. It's really fun. You should play it, and it's like $160, which is less than a standard deck. It's less than €3, I think. So buy it. You probably already own the lands. It's going to cost you 50 quid. Buy the deck, play the deck. It's really cool, and see you guys next time.